Hello, my name is Robin Da Vinci, and here we are again, segment 2. I'm with Mary O'Neill, who is a conflict resolution specialist, executive coach, and was a former psychotherapist. She has a lot of insight into how to have conversations or how to promote good conversations between two people. It's a lot of experience that she brings to the table, and I'm going to give her a tough one. So Mary, I'm going to give you a tough one. As parents, we're both parents.
Yeah.
And we have both been through financial struggles on and off. And we've had children that we're raising that required clothes, food, education, entertainment. Sometimes we didn't have the money to provide those things for them. And yet we didn't want to walk over to them and say, there's just no money, honey.
Yeah.
And we wanted to somehow soften the blow or somehow find a way to find the money. And we didn't want to discuss it with them. Tell me, in your experience with difficult conversations, and in that 8 Dates book that you recommended, is there anything about children in that? How do we tell our children about money and our own financial situation without just falling apart? What is that?
That's a really difficult conversation to have, but it also really depends on your own personality and your children's personality. I think about the time in my life where I went through a divorce. The kids, my oldest was going off to college in the fall and chose to go to a more expensive university than I would have hoped. My fear arose, because I knew that telling her she couldn't have what she wanted, considering what we were going through, the stress of, already inherent in going through a divorce, to not be able to go to what she wanted, what was that going to say about me? I always go back to those 3 elements in any difficult conversation. I knew the message that I had to deliver. I knew that there were feelings already erupting on both sides to sit down and have that conversation. But what I wasn't aware of at the time, and I wish I was what does this say about me now to say to my daughter, we can't afford that? That's, again, the unconscious piece that I wasn't aware many years ago now, that was playing out. The thing that's interesting, so I said yes. I did what I could to make it happen, for her to go to this university. It cost more because it was out of state, out of California. I said yes because I didn't want to be seen in the light of being a mother who would disappoint her child. I mean, it was already disappointing. So that unconscious piece of how would I be seen? Who am I if I deny this? Now, years later, my daughter has said to me, I wish you had put your foot down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I wish.
Did she figure something out, or had you explained that to her? Why did she say that?
Because the agreement we made in order to pull this off was that I would have parent loans, her dad would have parent loans, and she would wind up with some. And after she did, it was minimal. Nevertheless, she wound up going to graduate school. And so it only added to a debt that she's now carrying as a young woman.
I see.
Wanting to raise a family.
I see.
And so it's looking back, it's like, why didn't you put your foot down? And so it's been something I've been examining closely. Why is it at parents? Now, I have to say, I did not have a similar conversation with my son. They're very different personality. And I have to say, when it comes to this sort of thing, I want to be seen a cooperative, good parent, a good mom who's caring and all. Really, looking back, that got in my way because actually to be a really good parent and a caring mom, I neglected to think about the future outcome. What will this mean down the road, possibly? Yeah, those parts play out. If we need to talk to our kids, I think the best thing that we can do is back up, really be clear about what it is we're trying to accomplish and think about the current reality, but the future impact of this conversation. Be really clear about the fact that there are going to be emotions that pop up on either side, right? Your job as a parent, and I think in any difficult conversation, is to take the approach that's going to decrease the likelihood of defensiveness. I think saying to your child, we're a team. I'm not the parent dictating the choices in your life. I want to look at this like we're a team. Let's see if we can deal with this like I'm a member of your team, you're a member of my team. Could we sit down and talk about it so that we think about the impact overall on the team?
Early conversations when your children are younger, where you sit down, you're eye to eye, and you're saying to your child, okay, we're part of this team now. This is called a family. This person and I are providing for you. But the way we provide for you is we have to be honest about it. We have to talk as a team. What are the things that are most important to you as a 7-year-old? Like being on the soccer team, you doing this, doing that. And there are costs that are associated with everything we do for our children. They want to be on a cheer squad. They want to be on a team. They want to go to Disneyland. They want to have an electric bike. whatever they want. They aren't isolated away and they just get what they want. They're part of a team, and there's like a team pot of money. We have to share that. I think the earlier we tell children as a team, we're sharing the money that comes into the household instead of this money is just yours to do whatever you want with. I think we have to also give that example that if there's sacrifice to be made, that we're all doing it. You know, dad doesn't have season tickets and goes out and gets an $80,000 car, and the rest of us don't have clothes or shoes. Or mom belongs to an expensive place, but the rest of us can't have anything because a mom or the oldest child is getting everything. With the team atmosphere, a child might feel that they're sharing a pot with the rest of their family, and that it's okay to have a feeling like I didn't get what I wanted, but then again, no one else did this time around because we have this that's going on. We're saving for a vacation. So the money that comes into our pot in the house is going to a vacation that I really want to take as a 10-year-old. So I understand that I might not get that electric bike until I save some money toward it with birthday money or something. So I think if you give the team spirit to the family, that really works.
I think also choices. I think it's never too soon to teach a child that you make a choice. And I think a child feels empowered if you give them a choice. There's other options available. It's up to you to choose, because then they're not necessarily taking the reins, but they feel that they're part of the decision-making process.
Perfect. Part of the decision-making process is what I advocate. I really want children become part of a process to the level they understand, so that they're not sitting there at 15 demanding stuff because they didn't understand the process all along. That doesn't mean you need to give them detail and sit them down with bank statements and all of that, but just including them in a process will make the difference.
I want to say that the idea of sitting across from your child is not what I would recommend, because especially at the age of 7, sitting across from someone actually can sometimes feel like it's an opposition too.
Not equals, it looks like
side
opposition.
by side.
Oh, okay.
Paper in front of you. Point to what you need to do. Go for a walk. A child is young enough. Go for a walk and talk about it. Make it casual and light. Be sure to examine the beliefs that are in your head that are carried over from your own childhood about whether it's okay to talk about money or not, whether not being able to offer what you'd like to ideally offer to someone. What is that based in? I mean, it really can trigger our own feeling of guilt and shame, and that needs to be examined before we have the conversation.
I see. So we need to do a little individual work before get ourselves together and kind of know what motivated us to feel this way before we start bringing our kids in. I don't want to say you don't want to show weakness, but you want to show strength in your commitment to share and communicate. You might still be like have a stomach ache over the conversation. Feel the fear, but do it anyway. Oh, that's a great end to this segment. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, everybody. We're still going to do one more, and that one is going to be the one where you have to talk to your team about saggy sales, changing budgets. That conversation is why bosses often say, I don't know what my books are. I don't know what's going on, because they just don't want to answer to that difficult question. So thank you very much. Like and subscribe. Talk to you soon.